Alrighty, so let's look at finding the side of a right angled triangle, this time using division. So if you look at this triangle here, you can see that it's a right angled triangle and that we have one side that we already know and one angle, and we're trying to find the other side. So in this case, we can't use Pythagoras to solve this one, so we're going to be using the trigonometry ratios for the right angled triangle here, your SOHCAHTOA TOA or sin, cos, and tan. So for this, our first step is always to start off by labeling the sides. So the first side we're going to label is the hypotenuse, which is the longer side. We can tell that because it's always opposite the right angle, like the right angle points out towards it, so that's our hypotenuse. And then this side that's in between the two angles, the given angle and the right angle, that is our adjacent side. So we'll label that with an A. Now you'll see we've got an A and an H, and so we have to decide which ratio to use out of the three ratios, and the one that has got an A and an H is the cosine ratio, or cos. So we're going to use this ratio to solve this question. So here's the ratio here, and so our first step that we need to do is we need to substitute in the values. So we're going to replace the numbers in the equation for what the current letters are in there. So the theta that you see up here is going to be replaced by this 43, the angle. The adjacent is 35, so that goes at the top. And the hypotenuse is P, so that's what's going to go at the bottom, as you can see here. Now, to solve this, we kind of need it to be P equals so we can calculate it. So we're going to have to do some rearranging. I'm going to show you a step that you don't always have to show in your working, but it's just more to explain how it works. So we're going to have to rearrange the formula. So we're going to start off by timesing both sides by P. So I'm going to times this side by P, which will get rid of the P from this side because it will cancel it out. And we're going to times this side by P here. So that brings us with P times cos 43. And then just on the other side, we've got 35. Now, we want it to be P equals. So to get rid of that cos 43 on that side that's with the P, we're going to divide both sides by cos 43. And so that removes it from this left-hand side because it cancels it out. And then 35 divided by cos 43 turns this equation into looking like this. Now that you see we've got our P equals 35 over cos 43. So the final step that you see we need to do is to calculate. And so to calculate that final step, we just type that into our calculator, 35 over cos 43. Now remember that your calculator needs to be set into degrees, so it either needs to have the little DEG up the top or the little D somewhere, so you know it's in the right setting. And if you type that into your calculator, you should come out with 47.86 carrying on, but if we round it to two decimal places, that's what we'll come out with there. So just another example for you. So here is our triangle. We're going to, again, you can see we've got one side and one angle. We don't know the other side, so we can't use Pythagoras. So again, we're going to be using these trigonometry ratios here. Labeling the first side, you can see this side here is our opposite because it's opposite the given angle. And the one that's in between the given angle and the right angle is our adjacent side. So O and A. So the ratio that we're going to be using is the tangent ratio, or TOA here, so O and A. So we're going to use this here, and we're going to start off by substituting in the values. So the angle 53 goes there, O 6.3 goes at the top, and then A, which is X, is going to go at the bottom. So we've substituted them in. Now, you'll remember last time we rearranged the formula. Essentially, what that did is we put X onto that side, and then the tan 53 ended up at the bottom. If we just quickly look back here, rearranging from here to here, you can see that effectively these two here switched places when we rearranged it. So the same thing is going to happen here, and so that becomes 6.3 over tan 53 degrees. So when you've got a number that you don't know on the bottom, you can effectively switch these two because what we've shown on the previous one with the rearrangement. Once you've rearranged that, all you need to do is calculate that. So 6.3 divided by tan 53 and that will come out as 4.75 is that missing side.